Welcome, true believers. Today we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends retro carded Unlimited Spider-Man. Now, this was a show from the 90s. It started in 1999, where Spider-Man goes to a parallel Earth. So, here's the back of the figure with a quick description. Spider-Man suits up to battle against Carnage and other unearthly enemies as Spider-Man Unlimited. Now, this is the same wave as the Agent Venom. I have a dedicated review for that. So, get him out of the packaging. Take a look. Alright, we have Spidey out of the packaging, and to mildly infuriate some of you, he is not centered with the two packages. But first, we're going to take a look at the detail of the figure before moving on to the articulation. To start, we have the sculpted detail on his chest, which goes down to his abdomen, and then all the way up through the butterfly joints, onto the shoulder, and around to the back, where it is also sculpted detail of the spider logo. From the shoulder down, it is just a painted stripe from the bicep. And then at the wrists, we do have the spider gauntlets. On both sides of mine, they were warped, and so it looks like the spider is dabbing, but some heat should fix the warpage if yours warped. And at the head, we do have the unpainted head. And the reason I say unpainted is because he does not have the webbing. In this suit, he does not have any webbing on the red and blue. He also, if you take a look at the packaging, in the show, he had shell shading on his face, which is not on this Spidey's mask. The reason is because the cell shading was just a shadow, but if you want that, it would be easy to just paint a little darkening black on his mask. Overall, the figure looks really nice. He does have more sculpted detail at the boots here, which go around, and then he has some thigh paint up underneath, but no sculpted detail there. On the back, we have this soft plastic webbed cape. This is one of my favorite Spidey suits, as it looks very similar to the 2099 suit while being distinctly different. A cool feature about the suit from the show is it's nanotech. So similar to Iron Man suits in Infinity War and Endgame, this suit is nanotech, allowing him to hide it very easily to keep his identity a secret. So for accessories, he doesn't come with much. He just comes with two fists, each with a in and out hinge at the wrist, which the spider gauntlets do kind of prohibit that. See if I can get them up and over. I can't. So you can't move them back, but they can go in a little bit. So the gauntlet at the wrist does prohibit it. See if I can get it to go up and okay. Once I change the hands, I'll see, but it does look like they are designed to stay on the front of that. See if I can get a better hinge in at the other side. There we go. Okay. So in and out hinge, if it will focus, at the wrist. But the gauntlets do hinder the wrist movement. Let's pull his hands out. And so if you don't like those gauntlets, they are removable. And so I'll switch to his other set of hands. He does have the splayed out set of hands for climbing, which are also just an in and out hinge. So without the gauntlets, he can go back for climbing, but with the gauntlets, okay, so you can stretch it over the wrist there. put that in. And so that's about as far back the wrist can go without digging too deep into the spider gauntlet. Which is unfortunate, but it at the same time is the cost of certain details. So he has a set of fists, and he has a set of the splayed out hands for both sides. So here's the other splayed out hand. There is no detail on the hands. They are just solid blue plastic. And then he also comes with a set of thwipping hands. Overall, it's a great Spider-Man figure, so let's take a look at the articulation. Alright, let's take a look at his articulation. So, at first I thought this was a reuse of the retro-carded Ben Reilly body, but there is enough differences that it's not. It may be reuse of another Spider-Man body, but I don't have any that are the exact same, just similar enough. But to his articulation, at the head we have a ball joint with a hinge that can go down and back. So turn the head, so that can look back that far, down that far. Chin can touch his chest. Then at his shoulders, we do have a butterfly joint that can go that far forward. It can go back that far. It is hindered by his cape. Let's go to the other side and see if we can get a little bit more. And no. So his back movement is hindered by his cape. And at the shoulder, we also have a hinge. And then at the bicep, we do have a swivel. And then at the elbows, we do have double elbows that can go forward that far, which is a really nice elbow crunch. And then at the midsection, we have another crunch. Can go forward that far. And the cape does hinder back movement, but he can go back that far. And then he does have a waist swivel. He can go fully around. And then at the hips, he can go out that far. He can go forward that far. And back that far. So back not as good, but forward and side are good. He has a thigh swivel. And then he has double knees. Go back that far. And then he has a swivel at his calf. Can go all the way around. For the feet, he has a hinge with a toe swivel. As we went over with the hands earlier, they are all just in and out hinges. So let's get him standing. I did get my big Marvel Legends Big Time Spider-Man, as well as the Marvel Legends retro-carded Ben Reilly Spider-Man. There's a side comparison for those. He is a little shorter than these two, but he does fit in nicely if you're doing a Spider-Verse. Let's pull these out, and then here's him side by side with the retro-carded Agent Venom. So they're closer in height, but Agent Venom is just a little bit taller. So overall, this is another great Spider-Man to add to your collection. It's definitely a highlight of my collection now. And so thank you for watching. I hope this video was informational. And stay tuned for more videos in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye.